whatever the fuck your name is. Anyway, Jan, you did it. You finally gave this fantastic band their due. Now, for those of you who don't know, Jan is the man in charge, but I'm not sure why. This guy doesn't play a musical instrument. He doesn't have a band, but he did start a great magazine, Rolling Stone. Yeah. And now it's the size of a pamphlet. What a business plan. Way to go. I read it in about 30 seconds backstage. Now, Jan required years of pondering to decide if this glorious band that sold over 130 million albums should be inducted. What a tough decision. Gee, I don't know if I should let Bon Jovi in. 130 million albums. That's not such a big deal. Let me give you an idea of what the number 130 million means. And it means a lot. Now, the bubonic plague only killed 50 million people. The atom bomb only killed 225,000 people. 625,000 people died in the Civil War. Peanuts compared to 130 million Bon Jovi albums. How uplifting is my speech tonight? Anybody want to hear about the AIDS epidemic or... But you see, even with all of this talk of death and destruction, I'm making a point, and my point is that 130 million is ridiculously big. Yes. Try to look at it this way. The average amount of sperm in one ejaculation is only 100 million. Bon Jovi beats sperm, ladies and gentlemen. God bless them all. And you know, speaking of sperm, the band Cream sold 35 million records. Blondie sold 40 million records. And these guys got into the Hall of Fame, and they didn't have to wait. Jan knew what to do. Let me tell you something. Leonard Cohen used to sit at home beating off at night thinking about selling 3 million albums, let alone 130 million. Now, I've only just started. Bon Jovi. My friends, these boys are deserving. They are finally getting their due, and it's about time. I gotta say, what an honor. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What a place. I love it. Yeah. True. The only place you can see Slim Whitman's underpants, Mariah Carey's tampon, and what about that Ike Turner boxing gloves in the glass case? Did you see that? What a glorious collection of junk we have surrounding us tonight. It's an honor to be here tonight for these guys. I've known them since they've started. And aside from the incredible music accomplishments, they are some of the nicest men I ever met. No stupid rock and roll attitude, just humble and gracious. Whenever I would see them over the years, even with multi-platinum success, they each had a smile on their face in a welcoming way. An appreciation for their craft and their fans. In addition to music, their charity work feeding the homeless, helping the American Red Cross, lending a hand to the Special Olympics. That's a rare humility, and I love them for that. Great group, iconic band. First of all, we've got Jon Bon Jovi, a great frontman extraordinaire. The very definition of a rock star. Yes, a man who single-handedly destroyed most of the ozone layer in the 80s with Aquanet hairspray. And he's still working on it. The masterful and powerful drums of Tico Torres. You bet. David Bryan, a true showman on keyboards. Alec John Such, what a great bass player. And by the name, John Such, one of the best names in rock and roll. In fact, I've often said the band should have been called John Such, but we know whose ego could not deal with that. Let's be honest. It wasn't going to happen. And of course, the extraordinary talents of their current bassist, the great Hugh McDonald, who was with John back in the days of Runaway. And last but not least, my friend Richie Sambora. Underrated guitar players in the world, a masterful songwriter, and you know this is true, the man with the biggest penis in Bon Jovi. How I know that? The boys had a measuring contest early on. Richie won. But I don't want to get into the anaconda penis discussion. This isn't the right time for that. We're going to be inducting Richie in the Penis Hall of Fame next week. Hope you all come. Few realize that Mr. Richie Sambora single-handedly considered it his mission to help women who could not get dates to feel better about themselves. Over the years, he helped women like Heather Locklear, Cher, Denise Richards, and countless others across the world. Thank you, Richie. I always said, it's a good thing that Richie had a thing for pretty blondes with blue eyes and a nice ass. That's what motivated him to team up with John in the first place and create a fantastic songwriting team. God bless. Now, let's get down to business. These boys have worked their asses off. They are cowboys. On a steel horse they rode. Yes, they are wanted. Wanted dead or alive. Dead or alive. It's all the same. Only the names will change. Yes, every day it seems we're wasting away. Another place where the faces are so cold. I drive all night just to get back home. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. I want it, dead or alive. I said I want it, dead or alive. Sometimes I sleep. Sometimes it's not for days. The people I meet always go their separate ways. Sometimes you tell the day by the bottle that you drink. At times when you're all alone, all you do is think, I'm a cowboy. On a steel horse I ride. I want it, dead or alive. Bob Dylan. That's music. Look, this is an honor long overdue. I don't think you can go anywhere in this world without hearing a classic Bon Jovi tune somewhere, and it's pretty incredible, their whole success story. Starts out with John getting a job from his uncle, Melvin Bon Jovi. John swept the floors of the legendary recording studio, The Power Station. Yes, John is the world's most successful janitor. John had a job to do. It sucked cleaning up after rock stars, but someone had to do it. Years later, John was replaced by a vacuum cleaner. John paid his dues and worked on his music while cleaning the cum off the Power Station couch. I'll share this with you. He told me that I think it was Harry Chapin's jizz was particularly hard. I won't talk about that now. That's John. He'll tell you this later. And then John wrote a song called Runaway. She's a little runaway. You know that song? And then he got signed by a label. And he needed a band. So he teamed up with these great guys that we honor here tonight. And they played everywhere. And they recorded music during the next couple of years. According to Richie Sambora, the band was virtually broke when they started recording the album 7800 Degrees Fahrenheit. They were living together in the same apartment in Philadelphia and sleeping on the floor when it was 12 degrees below zero outside. They only had John's hair and Tico's farts to keep them warm. That's paying your dues, baby. And the band was struggling when they next released Slippery When Wet. Boys were opening for the band. Yeah, 38 Special in Iowa when the album hit. Rapidly rose to the top of the Billboard charts and was the best-selling album of 1987. Yes, John's philosophy. Don't bore us, get to the chorus, work like a charm. Shot through the heart and you're to blame. Baby, you give love a bad name. Living on a prayer came. Then Wanted Dead or Alive burned up the charts and the hits kept coming. Raise Your Hands, which is still an anthem at all their live shows today. Bad Medicine, I'll Be There For You. These 5 words, I swear to you. Lay your hands on me. Lay your hands on me. It's my life, it's now or never. I ain't gonna live forever. Who says you can't go home? And on and on and on. Other bands from their era have disappeared. Yet Bon Jovi continues and grows stronger. In fact, their last 4 tours have grossed almost $1 billion. All right, and I'll wrap this up. And if I can be emotional for a second, yes, rock and roll musicians and what they do are really important to me personally. I love all these bands being inducted tonight. Bands like the Moody Blues, who Jan, you should have done it years ago. These guys comforted me through many lonely days in high school. Look at this face, you know I was lonely. There was nothing better than putting on headphones and listening to Days of Future Past. It was fantastic. I love the Cars, I love the Dire Straits. I played their music for years on the radio, and I always considered it a great privilege to have a job where I could celebrate rock and roll and play the work of these fine musicians. So on behalf of all fans like me who depend on music to help us through our days, I say thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart, Bon Jovi. John, I love you. For always making up their music, putting a smile on your face. I really feel blessed to know you and to have been given this honor of inducting you. And John, I'm glad you asked me to do this even though I kvetch about it. I'm just glad you don't have to sit at home throwing darts at pictures of Jan Wenner anymore. It's over, Johnny. It's over, Johnny. The dream has been realized. No, not the dream of owning a football team. That was ridiculous. Your poor wife, Dorothea, sweetest woman alive, she almost had a heart attack when she heard that the mansion in Jersey was being traded in for a condo in Buffalo. But I digress. I want to get back to the rock and roll. Yes, the dream has been realized. The dream I'm talking about is that this great band of brothers are finally joining their fellow musicians in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like the name of their album says, 100 million fans can't be wrong, and I agree. They got to the chorus, they never bored us. I love these guys, and so do you. It's my honor to induct into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Hugh McDonald, Chico Torres, Sir Alec John Such, David Bryan, Richie Sambora, and the one and only John Bon Jovi. The band Bon Jovi.
John Bon Jovi called me up and asked me to be in his band many years ago. I soon realized how serious he was, and he had a vision that he wanted to bring us to. And I am only too happy to have been a part of that vision. Many people here tonight, I know them. I want to thank you, all the managers, agents, PR people, record people, wives, family, road crew, everyone. I want to thank you all. You know who you are. To be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is such an honor. Thank you. Now to my bandmates. These guys are the best. I can get a little teary here, so bear with me. We had so many great times together, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those guys. Love them to death, always will. I'd like to bring up Huey McDonald.
Thank you, Alec. Wow. First off, to my wife Kelly, my kids Morgan and Jake, I love you. And I'm so happy that you're here to share this honor with me. Thank you to my friend and accountant Gary Haber, who's had my back for over 40 years. Thank you to my friend Obie O'Brien, who's been on my back for over 50 years. For the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, thank you for the induction. To John Bon Jovi, thank you for the inclusion. To my brothers in the band, thank you for the inspiration. Thank you to fans for your devotion. I'm honored and humbled. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Richard Steven Sambora.
Just think about it when you're a kid. You think you can imagine that any of this shit would have went down and it was this good? No! Because it's that good. And I'm just proud to be working with these guys. And, you know, songs are very profound in a way because you're connecting with humanity. And then you find out that you have more in common with humanity than you. Everybody is more alike than they are not alike. And we had the privilege, yeah, especially now in today's world, right? That's really, really important. Because you can't say nothing, you know. So, you know, first, I mean, gotta say thank you to everybody in this band because the hardest thing to do, I believe, is to find 4 guys with yourself that are very, very dedicated. And they'll do anything, they'll work hard, they'll go crazy, whatever it took. And we did that for a really long time, so. And boy, was it fun. If I wrote a book, it would be the best time I never had. Howard already exclaimed that for me. Oh, thank you, Howard, too. There's so many people to thank that, you know, in the career as long as we've had, it's been so blessed and miracles. It's like almost hard to say anything, but I gotta thank my mom over there. Because she bonded me. I gotta thank my beautiful daughter. Right? You know, everybody. I mean, all the record company presidents that we've been great friends with and we've had a chance to really bond with and do business with and make music with and make people happy all over the world. And I think that's what I'm really, really happy about. 130 million records, 34-something million people we played to. Not one of them left without a smile. Miles of smiles in their hearts. And thank y'all. And you gotta thank the fans, because without the fans, they're the mirror. That was the mirror. Every night we went out and faced a stadium full of that 72,000 mirror fans. They gave us what we needed back. And hopefully we gave them what they needed. Man, thank you very much. And now I'd like to introduce best drummer in the world, in my opinion, and dear brother, Tico Joy!
Good evening. I must tell you that, Howard, thank you very much. The guy's always made me laugh. I'm short, but I try to look up to him as much as possible. I still do even more. Anyway, this is a blessing to be here. I got to thank my mom, and my dad that can't be here. And she backed me as a musician, saying, do what you want to do and play from your heart. She said, promise me you won't get a tattoo. So Mom, I love you. Thank you for that. My dad, Lenny, jazz drummer in the 30s and 40s, lent me his 1938 Sling-a-Ling drum set. And that started my career as a drummer. So I'm blessed to be here, not only with some great peers and wonderful musicians,